Terence Bud Crawford and Vergil Ortiz is no longer in play. We're going to talk about why that fight ain't happening. We're going to talk about the ins and the outs and what Oscar De La Hoya had to say and what Vergil Ortiz had to say out of his own mouth. But before we do all that, make sure you hit my like button, subscribe to the channel. Let's cook on it. So it's been a lot going on in boxing, as we all can see, especially now that Turki Alalshikh, he kicked down the door in the boxing community. You know what I'm saying? He making ish happen. And one of the fights that he said that he wanted to happen was Vergil Ortiz and Terence Bud Crawford. He said he was promising Bud Crawford a big fight. We all seen he couldn't get Bud Crawford to Canelo fight because Canelo is on some, I do what I want. You know, he on some, he do what he want, and he gets to fight easy competition and get big paydays by doing it. So he don't want to fight no Bud Crawford or no David Benavidez. So, hey, Turki said, well, you know, in your division, I want to see Vergil Ortiz and you. Now, I'm pretty sure Bud Crawford was good with that because, you know, he gonna have to pay Bud. He promised Bud Crawford a big fight his next go around, and that means a big payday because he didn't really get paid a big payday fighting Madrimov, but this next go around, I believe that Turki promised he was gonna make it up to him. Well, this week we got to see Vergil Ortiz get in the ring for the first time against some real competition. Now, if you've been following me, I told everybody that Sergey Bozek was a real live dog, right? He was going to be a tough fight for Vergil Ortiz. Now, I did pick Vergil Ortiz to get the late round stoppage, but that didn't happen. They went to war. That was a fight of the year candidate. You got people running around screaming that Vergil Ortiz lost. I even heard that dude Showbiz talking about it was the biggest robbery in the sport of boxing this year, which is just complete ignorance. You know, if you call a fight that close, that back and forth, the biggest robbery of the year, it's just, man, you got to be on some shit to say something like that. Because did y'all not watch O'Shaquie Foster versus Robinson Conceição? Like, come on now. Like, let's get real with this stuff, man. People are blowing this robbery word out of proportion. A very close fight is never a robbery when a fight can go either way. And that fight could go either way. I thought that Vergil Ortiz won, you know, even though he did suffer 2 knockdowns, which were flash knockdowns, you know, looked like he got hit and slipped at the same time. The second punch, the first punch was kind of like a flash equilibrium punch. It was never hurt, right? Doing either one of those knockdowns, right? So, with that being said, you still got to score those knockdowns. I felt that Vergil Ortiz still won a close fight because he was landing the more effective, clean punches. Sergey Bozek, he was just throwing a million punches nonstop, and that's the way that he fights. But, you know, everybody scores the fight different. So if you had to fight a close fight for Sergey Bozek, that's fine. You know, I don't have no problem with that. If you had a close fight for Vergil Ortiz, that's fine too. You know, either way, but you're calling it the biggest robbery in the sport of boxing. A robbery means that you won pretty much every round, or you won 10 rounds to 2 or 9 rounds to 3, and they just stole the fight from you. Like, you clearly won the fight. That fight, Vergil Ortiz and Bozek, was not the case. But anyway, man, during that broadcast, Oscar De La Hoya, he did an interview with Turki Alalshikh, right? They interviewed him and Turki right next to each other. And Turki Alalshikh made it clear the fight that he wanted was Bud Crawford and Vergil Ortiz. And he made sure to tell the world right in front of Oscar De La Hoya. Because Oscar, what he does is leading up to a fight, he always like to piggyback his fighter off another big name fighter, right? And what he been doing with Terence Crawford, he's been telling the world over and over that he wants to see Vergil Ortiz and Terence Bud Crawford. He believes that Vergil Ortiz is the only one that can beat Bud Crawford. That's the fight that he wants next, right? He's saying this because this is what Oscar is used to doing. He's used to saying shit in the media, but behind closed doors, he don't really want it to happen. So Turki Alalshikh got him in front of the whole world and called this bluff. So he told him, I want Vergil Ortiz, Terence Crawford. That's the big fight that I want next. Now, the look on Oscar De La Hoya's face when Turki told him that, you should have seen Oscar. For those who've seen the broadcast know exactly what I'm talking about. Oscar his lip was trembling. He's looking like, bro, why you looking like that? This the fight that you said you wanted, right? Now he putting you on the spot. The fight that I want Vergil Ortiz versus Terence Crawford. That's the big fight that I want. You know how Turki be talking, man. And Oscar, he immediately grabs the mic and he's like, you know, they got Tim Tszyu is in the running to fight Terence Crawford also. Wait, hold on, bro. Why are you bringing up Tim Tszyu? You don't promote Tim Tszyu. PBC promotes Tim Tszyu. We've never seen Oscar De La Hoya bring up a PBC fighter and all of a sudden promote a PBC fighter to fight another fighter that you don't promote. So he's like, nah, well, Tim Tszyu is in the running to fight Terence Crawford also. So, you know, we got to look at that fight. And Turki was like, no, I don't want Tim Tszyu. I'm no longer interested in Tim Tszyu. I want Terence Crawford. Like, bitch, I said I wanted Terence Crawford. I ain't say nothing about no Tim Tszyu. How are you going to tell me about another fighter that you have no promotional contract with, that's on a whole different network, and you trying to say that, oh, well, Tim Tszyu can fight Terence Crawford? No, I said Vergil Ortiz. So at that very moment, Turki Alalshikh put Oscar De La Hoya on the spot and called his bluff. And the whole world saw that Oscar wanted no parts of Vergil Ortiz versus Terence Crawford. He don't want that fight, right? He got caught in a bold-faced lie like he always does. He didn't want no parts of that fight. But it's still a possibility at that point, because now it comes down to what Vergil Ortiz wants. Because if Vergil Ortiz is telling Turki, well, yeah, that's the fight I want. I want Terence Crawford. Make it happen. Now Oscar's hands is tied, right? Oscar really, you know what I'm saying? He don't got no control because, man, we see Turki is taking over these promoters because he got the bag. Money talk and BS walk. And that's what we seeing happen right in front of our eyes. And I like what he's doing because he's putting these promoters on Front Street in front of the whole world, right? So now it's up to Vergil Ortiz. But after Vergil Ortiz got the victory over Sergey Bozek, the first thing Vergil Ortiz does is he starts calling out the winner of Errol Spence and Sebastian Fundora. Now, first of all, why are you mentioning a fight that is not even set in stone yet, right? Fighters haven't even, had contract agreements yet. Plus, we don't have no idea when that fight is taking place. Errol Spence got a whole situation he dealing with, personal issues with finding a trainer and all that. So we don't know what's going on with that fight. And you talking about you want to fight the winner of Errol Spence and Sebastian Fundora when you and Terence Crawford just fought a week apart from each other. So that fight is much easier to make. And the man is telling you, well, the fight that I want to see is you against Terence Crawford. That's a big fight. I'm willing to pay for it. You know what I'm saying? No problem. So we seen Vergil Ortiz, his bluff got called also because he ain't want no smoke with Bud. He don't want no smoke with Bud. If he wanted smoke with Bud, he wouldn't have even mentioned Errol Spence and Sebastian Fundora. He would have been like, yeah, let's get it popping. That's the fight he just fought. I just fought tonight. Let's make it happen. We ain't see that energy from him. And another reason I know that Vergil Ortiz don't want no smoke with Bud Crawford is because Vergil Ortiz, in a recent interview, he was talking about Bud, and he said Bud is the best pound for pound fighter in all of boxing. And he said nobody at 154 pounds can compete with Terence Bud Crawford. And he said, except for me, I'm the only one that can beat him. I'm the only one that know how to beat him. Bruh, you didn't even believe that yourself. You didn't believe it. So the fight is not happening because it's one thing for a promoter to not want the fight to take place, but it's another thing for the fighter not to want the smoke. And Turki got a lot of power, but he can't make these fighters get in the ring, and you definitely can't go against the promoter and the fighter. You can go against the promoter, but not the promoter and the fighter. You know what I'm saying? Now you got a problem. So the problem is now is for Terence Bud Crawford. Who is Crawford gonna fight? Boots is a huge fight. He don't want to fight Boots. So who's next? Hopefully, you know what I'm saying? Maybe he gets a Jermell Charlo because that's the next biggest fight. If it ain't no Vergil Ortiz, if it ain't no Boots Ennis, and Canelo Alvarez, like I said, we know that situation. It ain't happening. So y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Drop a comment in the comment section. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and y'all already know how I do. Tego talking that boxing again, and I'm gone.